So this is the first one I've been to that was a two-story. Haven't seen a two-story yet. My first two-story house going into it. If they're building them any different. There's one massive header, isn't it, buddy? A massive header. I guess if they had any kind of a U in the wall or whatever they call it. Some people don't call them T's because it's shaped like a U, not like a T. Call it U blocking. Two-story. They basically broom finished all of them. Yeah. Yeah, they're saying that this is normal. It's not used of it. I guess they say that you can't insulate them behind it if there's a T or a U, whatever you want to call it. I'm seeing a lot of issues for the sheetrocker, personally. Put trim around them. The trim guy is where I can see having problems. Oh, looks like they got to add something above that door, Paul. Got off just a little bit. You see that? Yeah, I'm going to have to add another 2x4 up there.
And how big is the cabinet?
Cabinet? 6 feet? I don't know.
3 foot up? 3.5 foot?
I have no idea. I'm not sure, buddy. 24 inches?
I'm gonna say 20. I'm gonna say 30 inches.
30?
I'm gonna say 30.
Well, what are you thinking?
I'm gonna say 30 inches on this side. That's your walkway in this kitchen.
You reckon that's the kitchen right there?
That's 220 plug-in.
220? Stove, sink, right there?
That's the walkway.
Or maybe they're not going to have any cabinets this way.
Sink's coming this way.
Huh?
Sink's coming this way.
Yeah, right here. Sink.
Sink's gonna be right here.
Mm-hmm. That's going to be a very tiny kitchen. About it, isn't it? Well, they got plenty of blocking in there for cabinets. Yeah, that's heavy-duty blocking up there for cabinets. But think about it, you know. Everybody's saying, well, you can, if you don't put this or you don't do that, or if you put this or you do that, you can't insulate. How are you going to insulate behind that? Right? There's no way to put insulation behind them. So there's no insulation whatsoever going there. So I say that it should have a 2x4 here, a 2x4 here, and then one on the back flat so that there's 2x4, 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 and nailing. So you can nail your sheetrock to all the way down through here. If you're talking about not being able to insulate, you're definitely not putting any insulation up there. So that's a complete void that is uninsulatable, period. There's not going to be any insulation up there. As you can see here, an exterior corner. What you're going to have here is a 2x4, some blocking, and another 2x4, which allows you on the inside to have framing just like that in order to nail your sheetrock to, like they did. See? So this is a exterior corner. corner. This is what I call a T. Okay, this is what I call a T. You got a 2x4, a 2x4, and then in between here you have a 2x4, even if it's just blocking. It can be a solid 2x4 or it can be blocking. But that allows, be careful in here, this place has burned down. What that allows is right here. That allows you to have the blocking behind. It gives you something to nail your wall to. Yeah, and it gives you sheetrock. Plenty of place to nail your sheetrock. You don't see any sideways blocking in there. That is what I call, it's a U, call it a U, call it a T. I don't care what you call it. But it is 2x4s with blocking. And then when this next wall gets put up against that, you have room for your framing. Your sheetrock to be nailed to. So this is a normal T for me. It's a wall junction where the wall is going to meet another wall. This was the same thing. They apparently had a wall here. This is an interior wall right here. See, there was an interior wall that came right across here. So what they did, when this wall butted into this wall, it fits right here and you can have something to nail to. And then again, you have both sides. Both sides have something to nail to. You notice this one. This is another one. Everywhere where they built a wall that tied into another wall, as you can see, a 2x4, a 2x4 with blocking. And then this next wall butts into it, giving you a place for your sheetrock. Okay, like I say, this place is burnt. I'm going to be careful walking around here. Another one. This is another wall that they made a doorway into. See what you got here? This is totally different from what you've been seeing on them crappy houses. This is what I would rather see if it was my house. I want to see a 2x4, a 2x4 with the blocking in there, so when I run this wall into it, I have something solid. And they did it everywhere. This whole house has been built like that. Look at that. Every single one was built with what I would call a T. 2x4, 2x4 blocking. Gives you plenty to nail to. Sheetrockers will love you for this. Another one. This interior wall is butting into that exterior wall. Okay? So you have a 2x4, a 2x4, and this butts into the blocking that they nailed on there. So now it's solid instead of what you've been seeing, that blocking. And also you notice that their blocking is flat to the outside here to continue on with their OSB. And obviously this OSB is standing straight up and down. But this is what I call a T for a wall to be butt into. Do you understand what I'm talking about? When I say that, I hope you can understand. You don't see that sideways blocking all over this place, any of it. You don't see any of that sideways blocking. And for corners, you do this. You got a 2x4 with some blocking in between. And now when you go to the inside of this closet, you have something to nail your sheetrock to here and there. I hope you can understand what I'm trying to say. But if you notice, this is all definitely traditional framing that I would be used to seeing. Blocking, 2 2x4s. Allowing this wall to butt into it and have something to nail to. And sheetrocker will love you for that. There's another one here. Even the exterior walls, interior walls, wherever they butt in. Exterior walls, doesn't matter. You put a 2x4, a 2x4. This wall has something to butt into. Now, the blocking is the same width as the 2x4 that's going into it. And if you notice, they didn't skimp any on framing at this house. Every single wall that butts into another wall has that U framing on it. All of them have that U framing. This inside corner, I'm sure what they have here is 2x4 blocking and a 2x4. This wall butts into that one, and that leaves you that little bit right there that you can nail your sheetrock to. So this is the kind of framing that I'm trying to explain to everybody. that they're not doing on these other houses. Okay? Everywhere. They're everywhere. Everywhere where there's a wall butts into another wall. 2 2x4s with the blocking so that, see here? So you can nail into it, and you get something solid. If you build your house like this, your sheetrocker will love you. Yes, your sheetrocker will love you. That is a U or a T. I don't care what you call it what you want. But that is normal framing. Normal framing. Concrete? Yeah. Yeah, no cracks. Another thing, see, everywhere you go, there's going to be that framing. Yeah, everywhere you look, there's that framing. T's, outside corners. This is a sheetrocker's dream right here to see this kind of framing because they have something to nail to. Everywhere, here too. Look at this. You notice there's no sideways blocking for this wall butting into it and then all that sideways blocking. And people are like, well, how are you going to run your wires? It makes it easy to run your wires. No, you drill a hole in it and drill a hole in here and you run your wire through it. Simple. There's no tricks or secrets. It's just simple framing. See that? This is the kind of framing I would like to see on my house. And if I didn't, I'd make them tear it out. I would not. I would make them tear it out and put that extra wood in there. See here? You don't have all that laid on the flat 2x4 crap. You have actual corners. Actual corners. I mean, you can butt that wall into it and the sheetrocker will love it. Yeah, so this is a nicely framed house. You don't see all that sideways blocking all over the place. This is what I would call a framed house. And I'm sure anybody that does house framing, the proper traditional way where they're not trying to save 2x4s, will agree with me that this is more proper. I would love for you to leave comments. Look at this, see? I mean, they got a wall coming across here, another wall coming here, butting into that. They didn't just run blocking in here. And they have a 2x4 with blocking here, and then that next 2x4 wall is going to land right into it. Boom. You got someplace to nail it to. Nailing. Solid block. This is what I would call a house frame. Wouldn't you, Paul?
Yeah.
What you got there, Paul?
How are you being here?
Roofing, solar siding, and gutters.
Yeah. How are you trying to get the job?
Yep. Sure is.
Out of town.
Out of towner. Yeah, this is the kind of framing I like to see in a house. This is some nice solid corners. Anywhere where there's a wall built into it. See here? 3 sets of blocks. Your 2 solids and your blocking. That could be 3 solids if you wanted to, but why just not go ahead and put the blocking in here? So as long as you got 1 in the top, in the middle, and the bottom, that gives you 4.5 inches. Exactly right. And then when this wall butts into that wall, this is 3.5 inches. You're going to have a nice outside. If you want to put some trim on that, you can put some trim on it, not worry about it. Plenty to nail to. And then when your sheetrock guy comes, the inside, he has plenty of wood to nail his sheetrock to. So this is a huge difference when it comes to the sheetrockers and how hard it's going to be for them. Or how easy it's going to be for them in this particular situation. These are, some people are calling them U's. I don't know why, because it goes this way, and this way. I've always called it a T, but yes, they use just scrap blocks. I have no problem with that whatsoever.
Yeah, that's a solid. That's a solid. Garage wall.
Yes, that's a garage wall.
Corner and you go T.
Yep, yeah. So that wall runs into that garage wall. That's a solid T. I like this kind of framing. This is the kind of framing that I want done in my house. If you build my house, this is the way you're going to frame it. You're not going to do all this cross, sideways, blocking, advanced, whatever they want to call it, advanced engineered blocking. You can call it what you want to. I call it garbage. Amen. Yeah, amen, Paul says. Garbage. this is something I can work with. Paul, they had termites. Oh, man. Bad. They had termites bad, dude. That's all termite. Yes. Termites. Real bad, Paul. I bet they didn't know that until the house burnt. Wow. Bay windows. Anytime you get these bay windows, they tend to have issues with leaking. But I hope you can understand what I'm talking about now, because I had a few people say, well, why don't you show us what the proper way is? And I'm glad that I had the opportunity to see this place. Very sorry that it happened to be because their house burned down, but I'm glad I was able to be able to come in here and show you what a T is to me. This is a junction. This is an exterior wall, 2x4, 2x4, blocking in between, and then your 3.5 wall butts right into it. Sheetrock can be nailed to that easily. How many sheetrockers are out there are going to tell me that they would much rather have framing like this to go back into work to, as opposed to that sideways blocking that I've been showing you on these ridiculous houses they're building here locally? Yeah, not my cup of tea. But this, I love. I love it all. Everything about it, I love. This is traditional house framing. This is traditional house framing. Yep, very nice. That's a corner. See, that's a corner. And then when you butt a wall into it, because it's 4.5 inches wide, it gives you a place to nail your sheetrock to. So I hope everybody got an idea what I'm talking about when I'm talking about T's and exterior corners, because this is it. All right, guys, we're out. Hope you got a understanding of that. Hope I didn't confuse anybody. And I'm very sorry that this person lost their house due to a house fire. And yeah, this concrete right here. How long? Yeah, that's probably considerable age on it. But there's no cracking. And look, this is nice. I mean, they painted it, but still not all cracked up like them other concrete blocks we've been looking at. I don't see any cracking in this, Paul. None, not even one crack. Nope. This is a very well poured floor. Concrete pad, very nice. Yep, I did a good job. I wonder though, Paul, they had to have issues with water coming in here down that driveway. Oh, yeah. I mean, you got water coming down that driveway, very small lip. They didn't even have the inset for that garage door to sit, so water had to be coming in their garage. What do you think about that?
It's built back in the
60s? Mm-hmm. I can see water coming in their garage, though.
Oh, yeah. Flood?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that driveway is coming downhill, right all the way to there.
Even the yard.
Yeah, even the yard is kind of pouring right down this way. I guarantee they had water in here during storms. All right, everybody. We're out. Heading to the next one. Boy, I love these corners, though. What's this say? Dead wood for vac. Dead wood. There's even added VAC mount. VAC mount. Dead wood for vac mount. Oh yeah, see they got a vacuum system running through the house. Whole house vacuum. See that? Yeah, whole house vacuum. That's pretty cool. All right, guys. Sorry this house burnt down, but I'm glad I was able to show you some proper framing. And this, my friend, is proper framing.